What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about Ghost of Tsushima, talk about if we need to see anything else of this game. Now, obviously, we had the state of play yesterday. I did a video on Podcast Now right after. I tried to get up literally immediately after, where I gave my impressions and overall basically said, this is exactly it. For those that didn't see that video, or this is the only channel you watch, I'm very grateful for that. But I said that this is exactly what I wanted to see Ghost of Tsushima related. I had been asking for, hey, what do you do in this game besides obviously the main and side things? And yeah, you could obviously come up with, okay, well, we're going to be looking around, we're going to be exploring, we're going to be, figuring out the world, we're going to be, going through these camps that are basically controlled by another group, the Mongols, right? And we have to take them out, and maybe we'll have different ways of doing that. All that kind of stuff. We knew, you could theorize that stuff, but we haven't seen it yet, right? We only had a couple gameplay. We had a gameplay trailer, we had a story trailer, we had like an E3 presentation, but we didn't have all that much, and now we have it. So kind of to pick up at the end of that video, to try and tell a story across that video on that channel and this video on this channel, is do we need to see anything else on Ghost of Tsushima? My answer is honestly no. In my opinion, and this is only based off of me, right? If you guys think you need to see more, or if you've been disappointed with what you've seen so far, everything, all your opinions, all my opinions, completely cool if we don't agree. Honestly, completely cool. And that obviously that's what makes the world really such an awesome place, just in general. But in my opinion, I think I've seen enough that would warrant me buying the game. Now, was I going to buy the game day one no matter what? Yeah, we've talked about that, like what are the different reasons why someone would buy a video game. But in my opinion, again, we've now seen all, like, if you have a checklist, right? I believe, in my opinion, Sucker Punch has checked off every single box. Now, let me clarify and make sure I'm saying this right. That does not mean it's like the most perfect game of all time. That doesn't mean I'm more excited going to this game than I've ever been for any game ever, right? I think there is still plenty to be worried about. We talked about that yesterday on Podcast Now, right? I said, yeah, the map still looks kind of empty. There still looks like there's going to be, and like how long am I going to have to play this game to complete everything? And I don't want to have that come off the wrong way either. I mean, like, going back to the Infamous games, you could really get through the whole game, do all there is to do in the Infamous games. You could do it pretty quick. Now, was it a sign of the times because those games were pretty old in terms of open world games? Yeah, and hopefully Sucker Punch has caught up, right? Because we have games like Red Dead and Witcher and all these games that can last for a very, very long time. I don't want Ghost of Tsushima. I don't want to have done all of, if there's like a bar of how much percentage you've done of the entire game, which counts like all the exploration, all of the, all the different camps that you've taken out, if it goes to like 100%, I don't want to get to 100% within like 10, 15 hours, right? I want it to last a while. So I do think that there are things that still worry me. I don't think this is going to be a perfect game. I think this game is going to have quite a few flaws. I think this game is probably going to settle somewhere in that 8 to 9 range. I don't think it's going to be the most amazing game of all time. I don't think it's going to be just a good game. I think it's going to be right in that middle territory of like a really great game. Now, again, could they surprise us and could it be a game of the year, game of the generation? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, that could happen. Could it also come out and be more like Days Gone, where there's a lot of problems and there's potential there and there's love for it if you're into a certain kind of thing, but there's just too many problems, again, kind of like Days Gone? Could that happen? Absolutely. So I'm not saying like they've checked them off in terms of I am 1000% happy with everything I've seen and my like opinion of it going into it. No, but have we seen all there is to understand what this game is? Yes, and honestly, as I get older, as I've had this channel, as I've had podcasts now, as I've talked about numerous games and numerous movies, that's kind of the approach I've taken, because people are going to like something, people are going to not like something for so many reasons, including myself. I may have some sort of bias towards something in a positive or a negative way. That's just the way I'd say all of us. I don't really think it's possible to not be biased on anything, right? That's just the general way it is. So, no, I'm not saying that this game is going to be perfect, but in terms of have we seen everything? Yeah, I know the general idea of the story, and I don't want to know too much, so I'm good, right? And it is just such a different game that the story is kind of out there, and it may not even be for everybody, right? But the story, we had a little bit of gameplay, enough, honestly, to sell me me on the basic idea of how the gameplay works, we already saw that. But now in this one, we've seen exploration. Okay, here's what you're going to be able to do in the game. Here's some customization. Here's some different things that they're just throwing in, right? Having the Japanese actors, which we knew was going to be in the game as well, right? Having the whole, like, the cinema mode, having the photo mode, all this kind of stuff, adding to it. So now, and again, the camps, and here's the different ways you can do stuff, and you can basically get basically like skill points, right, which you can unlock, and they basically change the variations of how you fight, right? So we now have seen these things. Again, are they all completely perfect? No, not necessarily, but they are all, like, they're all told to us. We know what to expect from the game, and I don't think there's any question anymore, right? So for me, do we need to see anything else from it? I mean, sure. I mean, if they want to show more for it, that's fine. I honestly would say that I don't think the game is to the point where they've shown too much. You know, when a game comes out, and honestly, it does, I think, boil down to who the person is, right? How much you are willing to see of the game. Like for The Last of Us, or like even the first game or second game. Really, for me, any game I'm absolutely like super, super invested in, I don't love to see all that much. I kind of, you know, step out. Now, I've seen the leaks for part 2 of The Last of Us, which sucks that I saw them. But in terms of like all the trailers that are coming out, I stopped a while ago. I haven't watched the developer diaries. I didn't watch the Neil Druckmann thing that was a few weeks ago. I didn't watch any of it. I'm done. And I would do that for like an Uncharted, because those are my favorite games. You know what I mean? So there are some games that you say, okay, I've seen enough, or I don't want to see anything. I want to go in with a blank slate. Now, having YouTube channels, it's harder. It's a whole lot harder, because it's just not how it works, right? I would like to do that with like the Batman game, but I'm probably not going to be able to. For Ghost of Tsushima, also because it's an open world game, it is different because it's not solely focused on a story and a plot and stuff like that. I think as a gamer, you're willing to see more from it. So basically what I'm saying is, I don't think we're at the point where we've seen too much of it. I think if they want to show more, and I think they will. I honestly think we will see more Ghost of Tsushima. But in terms of, do we actually need to see more? No. I think everything is out on this game. I think based off of what we have, the 25 to 35 minutes of all the stuff we've ever seen on Ghost of Tsushima, I honestly think it's enough to have people decide if they're going to get it or not going to get it. Again, does that guarantee a perfect product or a terrible product? No. I mean, ultimately, we'll have to play the full thing. But I think in terms of, have we seen enough of this game to know what we're getting ourselves into? I think we do. I think we have all the pieces that we need. So guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think that we've seen enough? Do you think that you guys have enough info on Ghost of Tsushima to make a decision on buying it or not? Or do you think they still need to show more? Let me know in the comments below. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this YouTube channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up. And I do a new video on this channel every single day. And so the next day, there's always a brand new video for you guys. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video.